Last class we were discussing about the efficiency of the transformer. Okay, we saw that the efficiency of the transformer is the ratio of the power output to power input. So we also saw that the power input that is given to the transformer is transmitted to the output, that is the secondary terminal, and some of the power is lost. So total input power is equal to the power output plus the losses. Okay, and we also discussed about the various types of losses that can occur in the transformer. We saw that ideal transformer has no power losses and is 100% efficient. Okay, efficiency is 100%. Okay, and we discussed about practical transformer where the power loss occurs in the windings, core, and surrounding structures. Okay, we saw that large transformer produced a very less power loss and they were 98 or more percent efficient. Small transformers such as those were less efficient. Okay, like the one used in smartphone. Those which are less efficient are used in smartphone chargers, etc. Okay, so these are quite predominant and are insignificant. These losses are quite predominant and some are quite insignificant. Okay. Then we saw major two types of losses in transformer. Okay, we saw that there are copper losses. Copper losses in the transformer. Okay, they are also called as I square R losses. So copper loss PC is equal to I square R1 plus I square R2, where R1 and R2 are the resistance of the windings in primary and secondary coils. Okay, we saw that they are all equal to I square 1 RE1, which is equal to I2 square RE2. Okay, copper losses are variable with current. Okay, copper losses are variable with current and they get reduced when the load on the transformer decreases. Okay, so when you increase the load, okay, copper loss increases. When you decrease the load, copper loss decreases. Okay, so P naught is equal to Vi cos phi, which is the copper loss P naught. Okay, output power P naught is equal to Vi cos phi, that is Vi into cos into phi, cos phi, Vi cos phi. So Vi cos phi is power factor. Okay, so Vi power factor. And Vi can be written as P naught, output power divided by power factor. Okay. Then we saw that under no load and full load conditions, we can express the copper losses. Okay, so we came across a formula called as copper loss under no load, that is equal to square of volt amperes divided by square of volt amperes at full load into power copper loss at full load. Okay, copper loss at full load. So power due to copper loss. This formula, which you are able to see, okay, is the relationship between the copper loss at no load and copper loss at full load. Okay. Iron losses. Iron losses are losses that occur due to hysteresis and eddy currents. Okay. So Pi is equal to Ph plus Pe. Since the maximum value of the flux phi m in normal transformer does not vary about 2% of the no load and full load, it is usually assumed that copper losses are constant. So what we can say is the flux phi m, which is associated with primary and secondary, do not vary much, and they are all same throughout the transformer. So copper losses are constant at all loads. Okay, they are constant at all loads. Copper losses dominate when the transformer is loaded. Copper loss is dominant when the transformer is loaded, and iron loss contribute to 99% at no load. So when the transformer is loaded, you have copper loss. With no load, you have iron loss. So these are the two major losses in the transformer. So we can express the efficiency of the transformer as P naught, output power, divided by output power plus power due to losses. So that is equal to P naught by P naught plus PC plus PL. That is equal to V2 I2 cos phi 2 divided by V2 I2 cos phi 2 plus I square 2 RE2 plus PI. Okay. Minor losses. Three types of minor losses that occur in the transformer. Minor losses means they are quite negligible, and these losses can be ignored while calculating the efficiency of the transformer. Okay, they can be ignored. So three types of losses are magnetostriction losses, mechanical losses, and stray losses. Okay, so magnetostriction losses. Alternating magnetic flux in a ferromagnetic material such as a core causes it to physically expand and contract slightly. Okay, so you know that flux is associated with primary and secondary coils. Okay, and also the cores. So this causes the core to expand and contract. Okay, and this produces buzzing sound of the transformer, and losses occur due to friction heating. So because of the friction created due to expansion and contraction of the core, there will be losses that we saw in the yesterday's class. Okay, then we saw about mechanical losses. Okay, so mechanical losses are losses due to the windings. So you have two windings, primary and secondary. So when the flux associates with primary winding and then to the secondary winding, okay, so certain vibrations are created in the metal work. They produce buzzing noise, and there is power loss. Okay, small amount of power is lost or consumed from the input power. And third is the stray losses. Stray losses are due to leakage inductance. By itself is losses. Since energy supplied to its magnetic field is returned to the supply with the next half cycle, however, leakage flux that intercepts nearby conducting materials such as transformer support structure, etc., they give rise to losses in the form of eddy currents. So there is again loss of power due to stray leakage inductance, that is in the form of eddy currents. So when stray inductance or outside inductance interfere with the transformer, okay, eddy currents are created and they create losses. Condition for efficiency. Transformer is operating at a constant terminal voltage and a constant power factor. Okay, we are interested to know for what load the efficiency becomes maximum. To determine this, we first divide the numerator and denominator of the equation by I2. Okay, so we want to find out the maximum efficiency of the transformer. Okay, so efficiency, you know, it is given by V2 I2 cos phi 2 by V2 I2 cos phi 2 plus I2 square RE2 plus PI by I2. Okay. So V2 I2 cos phi 2 by V2 I2 cos phi 2 plus I2 square RE2 plus PI by I2. PI is, or PL, you can call it as losses due to transformer. If we divide the equation by I2, okay, eta becomes V2 cos phi 2 by V2 cos phi 2 plus I2 into Re2 plus Pi by I2. Okay, you have a term in the numerator and term in the denominator. So that is the equation for efficiency. Now when efficiency will be maximum? When the denominator term becomes minimum. Okay, so d by di2. Okay, you are differentiating with respect to current. Okay, we have to differentiate with respect to current. T di2 is equal to V2 cos phi 2 plus I2 Re2 plus Pi by I2, that is equal to 0. So if you differentiate the denominator with respect to di2, okay, you get 0 because denominator is 0, so its derivative is also 0, okay, for maximum efficiency. So if you differentiate that, V2 cos phi 2 becomes 0 and I2 Re2 becomes Re2 and Pi by I2 becomes minus Pi by or PL by I2 square. Okay, if you equate that, it becomes 0. I2 square Re2 is equal to Pi or PC is equal to PL. Okay, so that is the equation. Okay, copper losses equal to iron losses. Okay, so you can say you can have maximum efficiency when the copper loss is equal to iron loss. Okay, when both the losses or power losses are equal. Okay, that we studied in previous class. Then we talked about all day efficiency. Generally, all day efficiency is the efficiency throughout the day, that is for 24 hours. Okay, so efficiency is not of much use for a distribution transformer. Okay, so primary of the distribution transformer is always connected to power supply, but the load terminal, that is the secondary, is sometimes connected, sometimes not connected to the load. Okay, when it is connected to the load, power is drawn. When not connected, power is not drawn. Okay, so copper losses occur throughout the day. Okay, copper losses occur throughout the day. Every time copper loss is there whenever the load is connected. Okay, copper losses also occur when the transformer is loaded. Okay, transformer is loaded, copper losses occur. Okay, when you connect a load, okay, copper losses occur. Okay, so we define a term called as all day efficiency. It is a ratio of the output energy in a cycle of 24 hours. Output energy in kilowatt hour. The output energy in a cycle of 24 hours is divided by total input energy. Okay, that is also in kilowatt hours. So you get the all day efficiency. So whatever output energy is given by the transformer divided by the total input energy, output by input. So power output by power input, that is all day efficiency. So measured in for 24 hours in a day, okay, for 24 hours in a day in measured in kilowatt hour. Okay, so this is about all day efficiency. Okay, so transformers also you have got a large number of problems, solved problems and unsolved problems. So you have to write the third assignment, that is little bit later, which I will tell later. Okay, later means I am not announcing it now. Okay, so third assignment you have to write. Okay, after you complete the first and submit it, then you have the second assignment. Once you complete the second assignment, you will have the third assignment. So you finish first assignment and then start writing second assignment. Third assignment I will tell later. I will tell what and all topics are included in the third assignment. Okay, so for the time being, some of you have submitted the first assignment, some are yet to submit. Some have submitted the second assignment also. Okay, whatever it is, you submit all your assignments. Okay, so you have to submit the assignments so that I can correct it and put the marks. And those who have not submitted the assignment, submit it as early as possible, because it will help me to correct the assignment. Okay, so submit the assignment as early as possible. Okay, so next class we will start the topic on motors and generators, DC generator and DC motors. Okay, so we will start the topic. It will be the fourth module, and we'll stop here today. Okay, is it okay? Any doubts? Any
Yes,
doubts?
sir.
Ah, yeah, what's the doubt? If you have any doubts, you can ask.
No, sir.
Okay.